Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Trust Your Worth podcast, the podcast that taps into the power of knowing your worth. My name is Brittany, and thank you so much for joining me today on our worth journeys. I hope you had time to listen to last week's episode. It was called Trusting Your Worth After Emotional Abuse with Zion Nelson. It was so great to sit down with my bestie and talk about how she was able to overcome that emotional abuse. So if you haven't listened to it, I definitely recommend you go listen to that. How are you doing this week? I mean, I won't lie. This past week was so rough on me. Ups and downs. I genuinely didn't believe I was going to get this episode out, but here I am. We're doing it. I'm trusting my worth enough to know that I can do this. I'm so grateful to be doing this because it really helps me to recognize the ways that I'm not really trusting my worth each week and just know that I'm doing the worth work along with y'all. Okay, today we're going to be talking about why you may be apologizing too much and ways we can change that. I was at a church meeting recently, and the first speaker, a beautiful woman, got up to speak, and the first words out of her mouth were, "I'm saying sorry in advance for crying, and if I do, please bear with me while I wipe my eyes so I can see the talk I'm about to read to you." The statement got a few laughs, but I was annoyed because crying is a perfectly normal occurrence when people are sharing their vulnerable stories about the hard times they've been through. Like, I would cry too. It's totally, my mom told me all the time it's okay to cry, but I'm right there too. I have struggled with over apologizing. And at the core of my apologizing was my lack of self-worth. Some of the things I would say: sorry for crying. I'm so sorry for bringing you down. Like after I've shared a hard experience that I went through that day. If I was taking up too much space on the couch, oh, so sorry for sitting here, I'll move over. If I had to ask for help, sorry, could you just help me carry these huge drums that I definitely can't carry myself? I believed that I did not matter. So if I was in another person's area, I would apologize for just being there because I believed that my presence was an intrusion or an inconvenience. And so I acted like I believed that by being small and apologizing for everything, even if I did not have to apologize. But as I recognized my worth, I knew I did not have to apologize for living, for breathing another's air. I deserve to take up space just as much as they did, but I found that I was apologizing more out of fear. Like the fear that they wouldn't like me, or the fear that I would offend others, the fear that I was not enough for them to help me with what I needed or with what I wanted. But over time, as I've trusted my worth, I've learned to be direct about what I want and also kind. You can be both. You can be direct but kind. My girl Emma from Therapy in a Nutshell, this is a YouTube channel. She's a licensed therapist, sharing great tips. She has a video on how to stop saying sorry too much, and I'm going to link it in the show notes, so please go watch it. She shares excellent tips on why we apologize and ways we can combat those reasons. But I want to focus on what she teaches about being assertive and then how to rephrase our statements so we aren't apologizing for things we don't need to apologize for. Okay, so in most cases, instead of apologizing, we can rephrase what we are saying. I'll give you 2 examples. So first example, I just poured my soul out to my bestie. I've been crying and venting. And in the end, I say, "I'm so sorry for burdening you with all this. I'm so sorry to have dampened your day with my problems." And those statements show how I don't trust my worth. And I genuinely believe that I'm a burden. But now I know that I'm not. So instead I say, "Thank you so much for listening to me. I really needed to vent." You don't have to apologize. And if you feel like you're a burden, I just want to tell you 100%, you are not a burden. You are so loved and people genuinely want you to share your problems with them, to help you. And there are so many there who love you. So just remember that. But you also don't need to apologize for having a very natural and human reaction to hard times. Like all of us at some point feel like we need help, feel like we need to vent. That's very normal. So if somebody wants to sit there and listen to you, of course, we can be grateful for them for listening to us. So yes, you don't need to apologize. Most apologies can be turned into statements of gratitude. Second example, my love language is quality time. So when I ask people to spend time with me, it is so scary because if they reject me, that's like extra hurtful because I'm like offering them my time. And if they're like, no, that just really gets me. But I also have to understand, and I've learned this over time, that, sometimes they're just busy, like life happens. I cannot fault them for having a life, If they rejected my request to hang with them, I would be really hurt. So every time I would message someone, I would give them an out statement. So if they said no, it wouldn't hurt me as much. So I would say, hey, if you're free Friday, would you like to get some bubble tea with me? But if not, that's totally cool. Totally get it. I did not need to add that second part. The first part was completely adequate. That end part was totally unnecessary and was about me not trusting my worth enough to be okay with a no. Because, I don't know if they have plans already. It's totally cool for them to be busy. And if they're busy, that should not hurt my self-worth. So I had to recognize that I was tying my worth to if they said no or not. And then once I fixed that, I was able just to ask for people's time directly. So next time I would just write, hey, if you're free Friday, would you like to get some bubble tea with me? That's all I need to say, I also want to talk about ownership of feelings when it comes to apologizing. If you have hurt someone or you have done something wrong and an apology is warranted, then yes, please do apologize. But if it was not your fault or it had literally nothing to do with you, then you do not have to take ownership of things you did not do. And I know as an empath, for me, this was so hard not to do. Like if my friend was having a bad day, I would feel the need to fix it and make it better for them. But in most cases, she didn't want me to fix it. She just wanted me to listen. But I would find myself trying to overgive or love bomb her because I know she was having a hard time. So it was almost like me throwing everything at the board and hoping something that would stick that would help. So it'd be like, oh, I'm going to buy her some food. I'm going to buy her some chocolate and flowers, which is great. I mean, everybody, if they're sad and if that's what you like, it's great to receive flowers. But there are other things I was doing that wasn't necessarily helpful. Just being sad. I was like, oh, she's sad. I should be sad too. No, I don't need to be sad. It's just then she may feel responsible for making me feel sad. Then I'm just adding to the problem, So I would be like, do you want to do this? Or can I help you with this? Or or I would just offer my opinion on her problem without asking her. And sometimes that would make her feel worse. The only real apology you can offer someone when they're going through a hard time is that you are sorry that they're going through this hard time. And then you can offer support by saying things like, I am here, you're not alone. And then just ask them, is there anything I can do to make it better? And your friend is going to tell you what they need instead of you trying to guess what they need. And if your friend wants advice, wait for them to ask you for it. When you just tell it without being asked, it can feel more hurtful because it can make them feel like you know what's best for them and how you would fix their problem would be the best way to fix that problem. Just wait to be asked. I saw a reel on Insta. I'll link it. The point that I love that she made is that if you offer help more than once, that is you trying to control the other person. Oh my gosh, that hit me in the feels because I love to be needed and I love to be helpful. But, when my friend does not need my help, I'm getting hurt because they didn't need me, then that is about me and my worth. So just as a rule now, I genuinely try to offer help only once. And guys, it has made me so much happier because now if my friend wants and needs my help, then I can do that for them. And now I can also have peace that if they did not accept my help, they know that I am there for them and I'm ready if they do need me. And we can both be at peace and I can go on throughout my day without, taking ownership of their feelings. I also believe another reason we apologize a lot is that we want people to like us. It's very human to want acceptance by everyone. But the simple truth is not everyone will like you. Like, it's just a numbers game. Statistically, you will not be universally loved. I mean, think about the people you know. You absolutely love some, would die for them, and others you can't stand. You can't stand them. So accepting that people are going to feel this way about you, they will like you or they won't like you, and that is completely out of your control. So I hope you trust your worth enough to recognize that you do not need anyone else's approval for how you live your life. I hope that you never apologize for being the amazing you that you are. And if someone makes you feel that way, then you should reevaluate having that person in your life. So there's a song by Desiree Dawson that is just really cool and I love it. I won't sing it and I don't have the copyright to it, so I can't play it, but I'm going to link it in the show notes. But she goes, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I'm not everyone's shot of whiskey. And I'm learning that I don't need to be. And if I turn away right now, well, I don't need you to miss me. I'm finding this new way. I'm feeling free. So my kings and queens, you don't need everyone to like you. I hope that you just like you, because it's your opinion matters the most, really, because you're not going to be able to make everyone happy. So you might as well make you happy and don't apologize for making yourself happy. All right. Okay. So your worth work this week is to write some scenarios where you would want to apologize and don't need to apologize. And then rephrase the apology into a statement of gratitude or into an assertive statement. So for example, someone holds the elevator door open for you and maybe you would say, sorry to make you wait. So I want you to change that to, thanks so much for waiting. And then the assertive statement you could change that to would be, thanks so much for waiting. Could you push 5 for me, please? I'm so excited for you to try out this worth work this week and maybe recognize the ways you're discrediting yourself by apologizing too much. And then I hope that you stop apologizing for living, and just recognize and trust your own worth, okay? All right. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I would love to hear from you. You can find me at trustyourworth.com or on Instagram at trust_your_worth. If no one has told you today you are an absolute legend, don't forget to trust your worth. All right, have a great day. Love you. Bye.